Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? It's me, Paddy from Across the Shuck, and we've got a way back Wednesday, and this is the first time I've got to do this. So, as you know, I've sort of stopped doing my Thursday ones because I just need more time to do these little shout outs that I wasn't getting time to do. So, way back Wednesday, I'm really glad to be doing it. This is set up by Rick over at Warthog. Warthog put this one out way back Wednesday, and he's the ideal person to do that. So, what I've done for my first one, it's going to be two of my favourite white bone knives. And I'm doing that because I know Warthog likes the white bone. There's quite a few of you out there that like the white bone. I do. I don't have many, but these are two of my very favourite. But before I say that, please come along tonight at 7:30 UK time if you want to see the reveal of one of these. Polish Custom Knives kindly gave this one to me to review, and it is going to be mine to keep, which I cannot tell you how excited I am. This knife starts with a 1, and there's 3 other numbers behind it in value. That doesn't make it a good knife, but the person who built it, and I'll tell you more about him. I've had one before. They sent me one about over 2 years ago, and it was amazing. This one is just stunning. 7:30 tonight. So that's that out of the way. Now let's get back onto the white bone. Now, the first one, in fact, both of these are George Wolstenholme, which is why I'm showing 2 and not 1. I just thought it's a nice way to get it. It's lovely white bone. Fit and finish on it is really good. Considering these are, I think they're mid 1950s. Maybe the other one's a bit older, but it's somewhere around there. I'm not that worried. They're older knives. They're beautiful knives, beautifully done. A serpentine shaped jackknife, which means there's 2 blades on this, and they both come from the one end. Look, sometimes I call it a penknife too. Just whatever is in my head at the time. Call it what you like. But it's a jackknife. That's true. It's a serpentine jackknife, and the 2 blades. It has a beautiful, for the size of the knife, which is, let me just put the size of the knife here. Let me see. This is a closed length of about 3.5 inches. So it's a good sized knife for EDC. Beautiful penknife nail nick there. Nice and thin, will do any task that you want. But if you've got a little bigger task, listen to the snap on these. I mean, it really is just beautiful. Look at that for a gorgeous clip point. Sorry, I should have had that all polished up, shouldn't I? But it is marked a bit. This was a second-hand knife. It was a gift to me from Frank over at Fraymar Knives for Christmas this year, and I absolutely adored it. It's sharpened up, and it does see work. I love using this knife. Really do love using it. It's a full 4-finger grip. You're right up under the ricasso, safe as a stack of bricks, and look at that beautiful long pull right the way across to the swedge. I think it is stunning. Just a beautiful knife. Nothing more or less than you'd want in a pen knife. Let's just call it a pen knife. They're both pen knives in my eyes. When I'm talking about them, that's what I'm talking about. But a beautiful and a lovely shield put in there. Really well put together. Just love this knife. But the next one, which is probably one of my favourites, I spent a long time looking for one of these. I'd seen Rick with them. I'd seen, I think it was Slick Slicers had one. Quite a few people have had them, but I didn't have one. But I managed to get this one. I had to pay a bit for it. But look at that. This is the IXL office knife. I just adore this knife. A very simple knife, but like that nail nick's not hard to get, but they put a little indentation there so that you can get into the nail nick. And this is the first of the 2 blades, and this is an equal end pen knife, to be honest. Look at that. What a beautiful knife. Gorgeous, gorgeous knife. Lovely pen knife in there. But the knife that's the main interest in this is about the same size as it. Now you have the IXL on there, and it's George Wolstenholme on the stamp. And this is what people would call a spay blade, but this isn't. You can see that it's fully flat at that side of it. This was not used as a spay blade ever, nor was it ever meant to be a spay blade. But it is a lovely, lovely blade. And these take a real wicked edge. Like a lot of the older knives are so thin behind the edge, and when you put an edge on them, they're just gorgeous. I mean, this one again is about that 3.5. Yes, just over the 3.5, 3 5/8. Beautiful size. But this is for this little thing is used for putting on the paper on parchment or whatever you were even typing on. You could actually score out if you made a mistake instead of having to get out that white liquid and all before that was invented, I suppose. This is what you would have rubbed the ink out and then rewrote it or retyped it. So it was a really proper office knife. That's what this was used for. And I just love the writing on front. To be honest with you, mine was starting to fade a little bit, but I got a very thin, what do you call them, Sharpie. And I just went over it and it came out now. I didn't have to do these, but I done this and you couldn't tell the difference. It's fantastic. I just let it sit and dried before I picked it up again after I put it on. And it's just sharpened it up so... Go back on one of my old videos and see it. It's just perfect. It really does look like brand new. I don't necessarily want the knife looking like brand new, but the writing just really makes it stand out. And I enjoyed doing it. And it's my knife. But so what I was going to do was actually going to show you the modern equivalents that I have in my collection for these knives. We'll start with this one, the jackknife. And there it is, today's equivalent, which is the Case jackknife. It's a two-bladed penknife, but the blades are on a different way around. You've got the main blade at the back on this one, and it's on the front on the Case. But it's probably of equal size and of equal use. These are two fabulous knives to use as an EDC knife. If you want a bigger one, take a bigger one. This will do my day. I just think these are absolutely stunning. The Case is in beautiful bone. This is in white bone. But two excellent examples of more modern and that sort of back in the last century, you know, just a little bit older. By what, 70 years, 80 years? What's 70, 80 years? I don't know when this was made, but it'll be somewhere around there, I would say. But just two gorgeous knives and both really, really useful as users. That little pen blade is the one I use most of the day if I'm carrying this. If I've got a bigger box to break down, I'll take out the bigger blade and I'll do that. But the little pen blade does most of my tasks in every day. If you're different, well then maybe you need a bigger knife, but I don't most of the time. So two beautiful little knives. And for this one, it was a little bit harder to find one. This is an equal end and it's, you know, it's that penknife configuration, both coming from either end. But I got something that's really another super office knife. And there it is. Look how thin that is compared to this. Look how thin that is. But I think this is a modern day office knife. And this one is this is not the SAK, this is the other one. I can't think of the blooming name now. One of the Delamont. There you go. Let me just see there. This is a Wenger Delamont. So, which is a little bit older. You can tell that the badge is a little bit different. Look at that beautiful little clip point as a pen and then a main blade on there. Again, to be honest with you, I know there's a totally wee thing. It's a bit thin to be you know, a main carry for me. You can see the difference. It's a bit thick, but put them two knives together. They're exactly the same sort of knives for the modern day. We don't need to rub ink out. We've got things that do that. But the equal of this, but a little bit thinner. I would use this as a main carry, to be honest with you, because it's got that thickness and sturdy. But I just wanted something that would sort of represent a modern day knife that you could use in the office and you would scare nobody because there's not a blade over 2 inches there. So, well, maybe a wee bit over 2 inches. What's this blade? Cutting edge of 2 inches. So, two lovely little knives. But these are the stars. These are two of the stars of my show. Not that they're the oldest, not that they're the most fancy. They're just, I like them. Do you know what I mean? And it's like we all have little favourites. But these two in white bone, I just adore. You know, these are the things you're going to have to pick up in the second-hand market. I got this from the second-hand market, and this obviously was from a friend. But two stunning little bits of cutlery. And when you have them in your collection, do you know, I feel that they're two of the highlights of my collection of older knives. not modern knives, but older knives. These are two of the highlights. Two that I would have wanted at any rate. I've lots of other ones, but these two, and especially this one. And I love writing on the handle, on the covers here. I love that, and I've got another one in there, which is a what's it called? What's the other one? A corn knife with the black writing on it. So I'm on the lookout for any of the old white bone knives, even white plastic that's got, some sort of insignia wrote on the front of it. So if you've got any of them and you want to get a few quid in your pocket, I'll buy them off you. Just let me know. So there we are. Two beautiful knives for Wayback Wednesday. Thank you, Rick, for bringing out this challenge. Challenge met, and I look forward to next week because I've got plenty more old knives because that's a big part of my collection as well. All right, take care. Paddy's away. Have a lovely day. Bye now.